Hey everyone, Bacon here with a little different video than I've done before. I guess you could kind of call this coffee chat. Today there's no casting, reloading, or shooting, but I wanted to take a few minutes to discuss a topic that I've been asked about a couple times lately, and Labor Day seemed as an appropriate time as any. I've had a couple comments and questions lately about whether or not YouTube is cutting ad revenue for the shooting, casting, and reloading channels. Today is Labor Day here in the US. Labor Day is a federal holiday, and it has less traditions and meaning for many than some other holidays. For some, it just marks the end of summer. For others, it's shopping and barbecues and vacation. It comes from a movement more than 100 years ago, shortly after the Civil War. Labor Day really was dedicated to the social and economic achievements of American workers. It's an annual tribute to the contributions workers have made to the strength, prosperity, and well-being of our country. The original holiday was meant to handle a problem of long working hours and no time off. Now, why do I bring that up? A couple reasons. One, I mentioned economic achievements. Labor leads to provision, food and money for not only survival, but prosperity. The other was long hours and no time off. When we can have time off, we can recuperate, we can recreate. In our current society, many of us can find employment sufficient to not only survive, but to also have a little bit of expendable income. Most of us don't have our dream job, but we are able to survive somewhat comfortably. And we're able to have the time and resources for some hobbies. Hobbies like shooting, casting, and reloading. What does all that have to do with YouTube ad revenue? Admittedly, not much. Let me try to tie it together. There's been a lot of discussion the last few months about YouTube attacking certain groups, about them economically censoring various people by cutting off their revenue, about them trying to silence or shut down gun channels, conservatives, etc., etc. Lots of people are mad. Some of them are very mad. I'm not one of them. I'm not mad. I find it disturbing and irritating, but I'm not surprised and I'm not complaining. On my channel, I like to have fun and I like to be informative if I can. This video is not intended to complain about our current reality. It's just intended to be informative. I'm not making this video to ask for your money. I want to let you know what's going on, or at least a little that I know, and what a couple opportunities are if you really want to contribute. As far as I can tell, right now the ad revenue on YouTube is worth about $1 for every 1,000 views, after YouTube takes their cut, of course. I say as far as I can tell because in the 7 months it's taken me to post around 80 videos, I still haven't reached the $100 threshold required to get my first payment from YouTube. I've heard from other channels that YouTube has changed quite a bit since March, but that's about the time that I started making videos, so I never experienced what it was like before. I did experience a change about 3 weeks ago though. All of a sudden YouTube has started marking almost every video I post as quote-unquote not suitable for all advertisers. They make that change the moment the video goes public. I've talked to some of the other channels and they're having similar experiences. As far as I know, none of us has been able to crack the code on what exactly is tripping the YouTube flag bots. There is a process to get a manual review, but it takes a few days, and by the time it's complete, the majority of the views a video gets have already happened. There are some that claim that this is a violation of the First Amendment, that YouTube should be sued, that the world's going to end. I'm not sure about all that, but I do acknowledge that I don't own YouTube. I'm a tenant in their servers and their space, and basically I built my channel on rented property, and I didn't even pay anything to do it. The folks that make decisions for YouTube have certain agendas, and they also have to answer to other people that have agendas of their own. I have no idea what the future holds for channels like mine, or the many others that are feeling the effects of this, but I do predict that it's going to get worse, and maybe far worse, before it gets better. Thing is, I didn't start making videos to make money. I started this channel because I had gained so much from the videos, information, and discussions in this community. I wanted to contribute, to give back a little. It started with the cast-lead hollow point tests. I planned to do the tests, and I knew that there would be others that would be interested, so I decided to record them all and share them with anyone that wanted to watch. It quickly grew into other topics and videos as well. I'm now a bit torn because I've had a couple very generous people offer to help out. When I set up my YouTube channel, I also set up a Patreon account, but I've never mentioned it. I almost deleted it, but then I started using it to contribute to some of the other channels that I want to support. Like I said, I didn't start making videos to get paid, and I'm not going to beg. I don't even want to sound like I'm begging. I have no need to beg. But on the flip side, I've discovered there are folks who appreciate what we do and would be more than willing to contribute. And when I say we, I mean several channels, many of whom I've named before on multiple occasions. On one hand, I believe most of these channels give their content and information freely to the public as their little way to help. For most of us, we don't think it's right to then turn around and tell or ask people to go to a website and donate money, especially when we tend to see it as our hobby. But as I step back a little and look at it, we all work hard to create these videos. There's a great deal of time and some money that goes into preparing, filming, the resources, and then the editing of each of these videos. Most of us read every single comment, private message, email, etc., respond to them because we love this community. But it takes time and energy. These videos don't happen for free. The time and effort required are the contribution of the content creator. But what about the money? Where is it currently coming from? It's not coming from YouTube. It's coming out of the content creator's pockets. I paid almost $300 just in ballistics gel and molds for the hollow point tests. At the current YouTube ad rate, I'll have to make videos for more than 2 years just to pay for that cost. And that's okay. No one is forcing anyone to create these videos. It's all happening voluntarily, and the people making the videos are happy to do it. If they weren't, they'd quit. We could all make considerably more money by mowing lawns or shoveling sidewalks. I struggle asking anyone for anything, and I almost didn't make this video. So, I'm not asking. I don't need your money, and I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing with or without people's money. But what I am going to do now is provide an opportunity for those that feel compelled to contribute to do so. There is zero guilt in not contributing. I don't want contributions from anyone with any hesitation. I ask that you only contribute if you have a strong desire to support what I've done and if you want to contribute to what I will be doing. I don't want anyone to feel like they owe something. You don't owe me anything. I'm humbled by the fact that you choose to watch my videos, and even more so by the fact that you choose to comment and discuss your thoughts in response. And do the same for the other channels you enjoy. I'm not in competition with any other channel, and I would love to see some of the other channels supported even if I'm not. If this community of shooters, casters, reloaders, DIYers is coming together and growing, I'm happy. I've started to view any contributions kind of as a gratuity or a tip. In this country, it's common to tip those that provide you a service, whether it's attending to your needs at a restaurant, carrying your bags, cutting your hair, or whatever. There's also an inherent social awkwardness in transactions that involve tipping, which is why it's so hard for me to make this video. Tipping, by definition, is voluntary. It's not required. It's at the discretion of the person tipping. I'm not a starving artist on the sidewalk with a coffee can out front. But I do really appreciate any and all contributions, and I appreciate the people that have already volunteered to help out. There used to be a donate button on YouTube channels, and I think it was tied to PayPal, but it's gone now. I set up a PayPal link, and you can use it for a one-time donation if you want. It's in the video description. There's also a link to my Patreon account. I'm not experienced with Patreon yet, but I think folks can set it up different ways. Mine is currently set up for patrons to contribute $1 per month. As you set it up, you can actually increase that dollar figure if you desire. Just type in the amount you want to give. Some folks also have it set up to contribute so much per video. If you see that, know that you can set a maximum you'll contribute per month if you want. I'm not sure yet how to thank those that choose to contribute. Do I make additional content that only my patrons have access to? Do I give away things like molds I no longer use, powder coat, other items? Do I try to find some sort of small sponsorship that will benefit my patrons with tokens of appreciation? I really don't know yet, and I think that will be shaped through the discussion and feedback with the patrons over time. All of that is a long-winded way of saying yes. It appears that the tiny bit of ad revenue from YouTube is being further restricted. But I'm going to continue making videos, no matter how much YouTube pays or how much is contributed by this awesome community. I currently have a notional schedule of the next 50 videos or so, and that should take my channel through the rest of the year. I'll add that any contributions enable things like more powder coats. I'd like to buy and test a bunch of lead-free alloy. I'd like to make and shoot some Paul Harrell style meat targets, maybe more gel blocks, etc., etc. Your contributions potentially increase the quality and the options for equipment and topics that get covered in my videos. If you do decide to contribute to the channel, please consider a few of the other channels that you could support as well. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day. Thank you for watching, and God bless.